Hello and welcome to another pen video from me, Penultimate Dave. So here today I have another 10 pens currently inked, so I think let's go through these briefly one by one. We'll go through them in a little bit more detail and then we'll do a writing sample. So from left to right we have a Magna Carta, and this is the Cambridge. We have another Magna Carta, but this is the Cambridge LE or limited edition. We have a Scribo fill in the Verde Prato. We have a Scribo fill in the Verde Bosco. We have a Pelican M800 Royal Gold Raden. We have a Pelican M1000, and this is in the Raden Starlight. We have another Pelican M1000 in the Raden Sunlight. We have a Leonardo Officina Italiana Momento Zero Grande in the Sand. We have an Armando Simoni Club Bologna Extra Wild West. And we have a Montegrappa Bartolomeo Ferracina in the shiny circles. So I think let's take a look at these pens in a little bit more detail. So this is the Magna Carta, and this is a Cambridge model. And this is a very heavy pen. It is a pen made by Hiran and his family at Magna Carta in India. And this is, with all intents and purposes, a brass pen, but it is then plated in 24 karat gold. So this is a heavy pen. The cap is very, very heavy. You do have some plastic threads in there, so that actually screws on, because metal on metal, sort of metal threads to metal threads, can be a little bit sort of scratchy from time to time. So I'm glad that they actually took the initiative and put in some plastic threads there, because it just makes the screwing on so much nicer. So this is the Magna Carta Cambridge. This comes with a number 6 size. It's a steel nib. It's gold plated. It's got a Magna Carta logo there. I've got a broad nib on this one, and these nibs are actually made in-house. The beauty of what Magna Carta are doing is they're putting ebonite feeds on these steel nibs. I could have got a gold nib if I wanted to, but I chose the steel nib option. These are cartridge converters, so if I unscrew this, you will see there just a standard international converter. I believe it's a SMIC converter, and it will, if I unscrew it, it's not a pull-out, it's a screw-in converter, which again, I like really quite a lot, because sometimes you can get to the point where you're not sure if you've put that converter all the way in, and sometimes they can make their way loose depending on how tight that fitting is. So I'm really glad that Magna Carta are actually going, putting out all the stops for these pens. I like the intricate detail not only on the body here, but also on the section. So most people actually have issues with sections that are gold or silver because they feel that their fingers slip off of them very easily. This isn't. It's very, very textured. Now, in the size of my hand, this is actually a pretty good size. I can post the cap as well, but it is very back weighted. So it's not something normally I would want to do. And certainly with a heavy cap, it's not something that I would really want to do either. But this is a really nice pen. So I have that pen inked up with me. And you can see there the M for Magna Carta there. And you have the name Magna Carta engraved. But this is really interesting. It does have a very thick clip. The reason for this is that they wanted to make it spring-loaded, and it is very springy. So quite a tight clip. So it will actually clip onto sort of material quite nicely. The next pen here, again, is another Magna Carta, and again, it's another Cambridge, but it's a limited edition. And you can probably see here, it is slightly longer as well. Now, this is really what actually sold me down the Cambridge route, because I saw this on Hiran had posted this on his Instagram on Magna Carta, and he said that this is a Cambridge LE or limited edition model, and he said that there were only a few made of these. So these are not a numbered edition, but you can see the Magna Carta logo there, and there's obviously a blank finial there. But I messaged Hiran and said, look, I would be interested in one of these, and he said I will put one by, because he said we really don't have many of these. But this is, again, it's a brass pen, and it's then plated, and a combination of 24 karat gold, but also this sort of PVD coating as well. I believe it's PVD that is here. Again, you have the word Magna Carta there on the cap band, and then the logo there. But I really like the combination of this colour. Now, if I unscrew, again, you have a number 6 size broad Magna Carta steel nib there, and this is an in-house nib that they have made. And again, the section is kind of patterned as well, so your fingers are not going to slip. The only thing I do find with this one is that this kind of design on the body, it is a little bit more textured. If you run say a microfiber cloth over this, it does catch a little. A few of the fibers will catch, but again, I like this pen a lot, and you can post a cap, but again, I'm not going to want to do so. A, because it's metal, and B, because the cap is very, very weighty. But again, you have plastic threads inside there, so the cap screwing on and off is really, really smooth, and you don't find that with a lot of metal section or metal thread pens. The next pen I have inked up here is the Scribo, and this is from Scrittura Bolognese, and you'll see here it says feel the writing, and this is the Verde Prato, and I do love this a lot. This is a really lovely pen. It's a piston filling pen, so it's not a cartridge converter. It is a resin, it's not a celluloid, but it is faceted, and you do have this hourglass effect going on here between the cap and the body. It does have a number 6 size nib. Now, these are what Screevo call Screevo flex nibs, or extra flexible. And this is the same. So basically, Screevo, when Omos shut its doors, a number of Omos employees left Omos and created Screevo. And they actually have obtained the original Bock nib manufacturing machines, and they are making the original extra flessibile nibs that Omos used to do, which were very flexible, and they are putting them on the Screebos. So this is an extra flexible nib, or extra flex, or extra flessibile, and this is the medium version, and I love it. I love it a lot. Can I post a cap? No, it's not designed to do so, but I love writing with this pen, so I've got this one inked up with me this week as well. The next one here, again, is another Scribo, and this is again another Scribo feel, and this is the Verde Bosco, and you can see the finial there. Again, it's a piston filling pen. You've got the hourglass shape, the facets as well. Again, another resin. It's just a different resin with a high layer of chatoyance going on there that you can see, and you can just see that here when I rotate it. It really does come to life. So this is again a lovely pen. Again, a number 6 size medium extra flex nib, and I really love how these write. So for me, again, it's not gonna post the cap, unfortunately, but these are really, really nice. So the next pen is a Pelican M1000 Royal Gold Raden, and these are abalone stripes in gold, and this is a work of art. You can see the artist's signature there if I get that on camera. It is an M800 size pen, so it is a little bit more on the thinner side for Pelicans, But I guess for Pelicans, you've got the M200, M400, M600, M800, and then the M1000. So it's probably actually more one of the thicker pens, but it's certainly narrower in terms of compared to the M1000s, which I'll show you. So this has a number 6 size nib from Pelikan. It's an 18 karat gold nib, and it's a broad nib with an ABS plastic feed there. But I love this pen a lot. I can post the cap if I want to. It posts fairly deeply. It's not back weighted. The cap is quite light. So this is a Maki Urushi pen, and I just like it. It's a beautiful pen. So I decided I would ink this one back up again because I've not had it inked for a little while, and I'm writing with that this week. The next pen is a Pelikan M1000, and this is the Raden, and this is in the Starlight. And I just want to show the amount of detail that is in that gold dust, and also the Raden abalone stripes there. And that is in the cap, and then you have this in the body, and there is an artist signature there that you can see, but this is really beautiful. So I'm glad that I picked this pen up when I did. This has a much larger Pelikan M1000 nib. It's a medium nib, 18 karat gold nib with an ABS plastic feed there. Can I post the cap? Yes, I can, and it posts quite securely as well. So for me, I do sometimes post these actually. The Pelicans, I've got an M600, I've got quite a few M800s that I will post those caps from time to time because the caps are extremely light. So I have that one inked up with me this week as well. The next one is another Pelikan M1000, again a Raden, and you can see the abalone stripes here. So this is the Raden Sunlight, and I picked this up about a month after the Starlight. The Starlight was always the pen that I really, really wanted. I think prior to that I wanted this pen, but I knew it was long sold out. So I kind of wanted the Starlight because I knew it was still available, and I found one in the end. They are very hard to find, but I found one. And then a month later, the same guy sold this one as well. So at that point, I decided it was fate, kismet. I had to buy it. I couldn't let it go. So again, you've got the artist's signature there that you should see on the body there. This is a really beautiful pen. Pelikan there, M1000. Again, number 6 size nib, and this is a medium. Sorry, I say number 6. It's a number 8 size nib. So it's a number 8 size nib, and it's an 18 karat gold medium nib. But that is really nice, and you can post the cap if you want to. So if you want to post that, you can. But that, again, I've got inked up this week as well. The next pen is a Leonardo Officina Italiana Momento Zero. This is in the Grande, and it's in the sand material. And again, this is a beautiful striped pen. It's not a Maki, it's not Radon, but it has this resin that is really sliced into layers and then glued back together, and then created into this stacked sort of different colors, and then you make a pen out of it. So this is a really beautiful pen. This comes with a number 6 size Leonardo steel nib. This is a Bock nib, and I like it. It's a medium nib, but it tends to write a little bit more broader for me, but I love it. You can post the cap here. It's not a piston per se. It's a captured converter that you can see there, and you can, if I unscrew this, I will show you, if I don't let that run away, that you can basically access that from the rear. So you don't have to unscrew the body if you wanted to fill up the pen. You can just do it there. This is a really beautiful pen. You can post the cap there, and again, it posts quite deeply, quite securely. The cap's light. So I have that one inked up with me this week as well. And then The next pen here is an Armando Simoni Club Bologna Extra, and this is the, I get it here on camera, if I can get it to focus, it is the Wild West. And this is a beautiful pen. It's got a lot of hues of red and blue. Again, it's very similar resin to the sand, but in different colors. And they've stacked various blue resins and red resins together, glued them together, and then cut them into a pen. And it's really lovely pen, lovely material. You also actually have a lovely Wild West band here. You can see it comes with a number 8 size Magic Flex nib. This is a medium nib. It's a pneumatic filling pen. So it has a sack, a latex sack inside it, which stores the ink. But this is a beautiful pen, so I have that one inked up with me this week as well. And then the final pen I have inked up is this one. It's a Montegrappa, and this is a Bartolomeo Ferracina in the shiny circles. Now, Bartolomeo Ferracina was a watch or clock manufacturer in Italy, and you can see there that that is a clock, and it is a working clock as well. So this is made of the shiny circles celluloid, and I have a shiny lines celluloid, which basically these circles would go the length of the pen. The shiny circles go around the pen, but this is a beautiful pen. It is very heavy. The cap is made of solid silver. Well, actually, the cap is made of celluloid, but these are solid silver. And then you have a solid silver section and also a piston knob there. And you have a number 8 size Montegrappa nib. But this is a really beautiful pen. You can post the cap, but it's so back weighted you don't want to. But if you want to, you can. If you hold the pen up high, it wouldn't be an issue. But for me, this is a beautiful pen, and I decided I would have that one inked up with me this week as well. So I think with that, let's go and do a writing sample. So the first pen here is the Magna Carta Cambridge. So I think let's do an ink swatch. Now, I mentioned that this is a broad nib, it's a steel nib, and you can see there it is putting down a little bit more of a broader line. So this is the Magna Carta, and it's the Cambridge. And it is a broad, and it's a steel nib, and it's an in-house nib. It's not a Bock, it's not a Yovo nib. And then the ink in here is Pilot Owashizuku, and it's Yuyaki, which is a really beautiful orange ink. The next pen is, again, another Magna Carta Cambridge, but this is the LE or limited edition. So we'll do an ink swatch. And again, I have a broad nib in this pen, and you can see that it is putting down a bit of a border line there as well. So this is the Magna Carta Cambridge, and it is the limited edition there, and it's got a broad, and it's a steel nib. It's an in-house Magna Carta nib, and then the ink in here is diamine, and it is Apple Glory, which is a beautiful green ink from diamine. The next pen is the Scribo fill in the Verde Prato. So we'll do an ink swatch. Now, I did say that this is an extra flex nib, and it does flex quite a bit. And it's also a medium nib. So this is the Scribo fill, and it's in the Verde, and it's the Prato. and it's a medium, and it's a 14 karat gold nib. And then the ink in here is Ackerman, and it's Dutch Masters, and it is Van Hoyesums, and it's Sapgroen, which is a really lovely sort of brighter green ink. The next pen is the Scribo fill in the Verde Bosco. So we'll do an ink swatch. And I have actually inked this up with a slightly different colour this time around than I usually would. This is a Ackerman ink. It's really a brownish, I'd say it's a brown / brownish green probably. So this is a Scribo fill in the Verde Bosco, and it is a medium 14 karat gold nib, and the ink in here is Ackerman, Dutch Masters, and it's Haus ut Brunn, which I would say is supposed to be a brownish colour ink. I find it's a little bit more brownish green in some pens. The next pen inked up is the Pelikan M1000 Royal Gold Raden. So we'll do an ink swatch. Now this I definitely would say is a brown, and I do like this colour, although it does come out very dark brown in some pens. So this is the Pelikan M800, and it's the Royal Gold Lardon. This has a board, and it's an 18 karat gold nib. And then the ink in here is Diamine Ochre, which is a really lovely brown coloured ink. The next pen is a Pelikan M1000 Radon Starlight. So we'll do an ink swatch. Now, this is a number 8 size nib. It's also quite a wet nib as well. Typically, the M1000 nibs are very wet and bouncy, or a little bit bouncy anyway. So this is a Pelikan M1000. It's the Radon, and it's the Starlight. And it's a medium, and it's an 18 karat gold nib. And then the ink in here is Diamine, and it's Blaze Orange, which is a really lovely orange ink that I like quite a lot. The next pen I have inked up again is another Pelikan M1000 Radon, but this is a Sunlight. So we'll do an ink swatch. Now, I have this inked up with a sort of almost a cerulean blue, and as you can see again, these M1000 nibs are very wet. So this is the Pelikan M1000 Warden Starlight, and it's a medium, and it's an 18 karat gold nib. And then the ink in here is Venustus, or Venustus, and it is aqua, spelt this way because it's Italian, di Spargi. But that is a beautiful blue ink. It actually reminds me a lot of Pilot Washizuka Konpeki, but also Pelikan Edelstein Topaz. The next pen is a Leonardo Officina Italiana Momento Zero Grande. So we'll do an ink swatch. And I mentioned early on that I thought that this wrote a little bit more on the broader side. I think it probably is really more of a Western medium. So this is a Leonardo, and it is a Momento 0, and it's the Grande in the sand, and it's a medium. It's a steel nib. And then the ink in here is Leonardo purple. And I don't know, it definitely is at least a medium, probably bordering on a broad, but maybe not quite a broad nib. Obviously, you see the Pelican M1000 there. That is more of a broad nib, even though it's a medium, because it is more of a bouncy nib. If you look at the Magna Carta nib up here, this is a broad steel nib. So that's why I'm kind of thinking it's bordering on a broad nib. The next pen inked up is the Armando Simoni Club Bologna Extra, and this is in the Wild West. So we'll do an ink swatch here. And you can see here, again, these nibs, like the Pelican M1000 nibs, are pretty wet. And I think the Pelican M1000 nibs are... I don't know if they are still made by Bock, or I think maybe they were made by Bock and then they started making them in-house. But I kind of think that ASC went to Bock and said, we want that nib in terms of the size, in terms of the bounce, because it performs pretty much the same. So this is an ASC, I'll abbreviate this, it's a Bologna Extra, and it's the Wild West. And it's a medium nib, but it's bordering on a broad, and it's an 18 cat gold, it's a Bock nib. And then the ink in here is Diamine, Poppy, and it's red. I'm not sure if there's a different colour poppy, or if Diamine are doing a different colour poppy, but they specifically call this poppy red. And then the last pen is the Montegrappa Bartolomeo Ferracina in the shiny circles. So let's do an ink swatch. And you'll see here, it's a little bit of a dry nib. Let me prime this up a little bit more. There you go. I think it just needed the piston activating a little bit there. So this is the Montegrappa, and it's the Bartolomeo Ferracina, and it is the shiny circles, and it's a medium, and it's an 18 cat gold nib. And the ink in here is Diamine Earl Grey, which is a lovely grey ink. So I think let's take a look at these pens inked up one more time. So we have a Magna Carta in the Cambridge in a broad steel nib, inked up with Pilot Washizuku Yuyaki. We have a Magna Carta Cambridge limited edition in a broad steel nib, inked up with Diamine Apple Glory. We have a Scribo Fill Verde Prato in a medium 14 karat gold nib, inked up with Akman Dutch Masters Van Huysum's Sapgron. We have a Scribo Fill in the Verde Bosco in a medium 14 karat gold nib, inked up with Akman Dutch Masters House Oudbrun. We have a Pelican M800 Royal Gold Raden in a broad 18 karat gold nib, inked up with Diamine Ochre. We have a Pelican M1000 Raden Starlight in a medium 18 karat gold nib, inked up with Diamine Blaze Orange. We have a Pelican M1000 Raden Starlight in a medium 18 karat gold nib inked up with Venustus Aqua di Spargi. We have a Leonardo Momento Zero Grande in the sand in a medium steel nib inked up with Leonardo Purple. We have an Armando Simoni Club Bologna Extra Wild West in a medium 18 karat gold nib inked up with Diamine Poppy Red. And then we have a Montegrappa Bartolomeo Ferracina in the shiny circles in a medium 18 karat gold nib inked up with Diamine Earl Grey. So there you have it, that's my currently inked pens for this week. Thanks for watching, please like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next pen video. Bye bye.